What up, folks? It's your pal, Coach Vino, and this is the Glass Half Full podcast where we turn setbacks into comebacks. Let's go.
Yo, everybody goes through setbacks, but don't let these setbacks make you take a step back. Step back from the situation, put your brush down, envision the picture you're faith in, because everybody goes
All right. Welcome back to the podcast. I am Coach Vino, the people's bartender, and your certified coach from the Boogie Down Bronx. All right, folks, well, it is March, and you know what that means, right? Well, if you don't, it means that up to 75% of all New Year's resolutions have failed. I mean, 75%. Isn't that crazy? But here's what I got to tell you. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. Now, I want you to be honest with yourself, right? I want you to ask yourself, how's your resolution holding up? Are you one of those 75%? Now, I've made a podcast recently where I talk about New Year's resolutions and how I feel about them. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan of them, even though I understand that they do serve a certain purpose. If you are someone that's able to, if you're part of that 25%, you know what I'm saying? That's a small ratio there. But what I do want to talk about today is I want to talk about the real problem, why resolutions fail. And the first one is that we set really unrealistic goals for ourselves, right? So let's talk about the gym, right? Because the gym is one of the most popular, if not the most popular resolution that people set. Going from 0 workouts to going to the gym every single day, that's going to set you up for failure, okay? I'm not saying it can't be done, but the problem is that we want to go from, never going to the gym, or maybe not going in years. So all of a sudden you're going 5 days a week and you think you want to get all jacked up. Like, bro, no, that's not how it works, man. That's going to set you up for failure. It's the same thing like, let's just say you want to go on a diet. You're gonna go from eating, not the greatest every day to all of a sudden you're going to have salads every day. No, man, that's going to set you up for failure. Okay? That's not the way you're going to get anything done. That's unrealistic. Now, another one is a lack of clarity. When you say, I want to get fit, that's not the same as saying, you know what, I'm going to work out 3 days a week. When you say, I want to eat better, that's not the same as saying, you know what, I'm going to cut out carbs. Another one, let's just say, I'm going to read more. That's not the same as saying, I'm going to read 1 book a month. You see what I'm saying? The lack of clarity leads to failure. Another problem with resolutions is when we have an all or nothing mindset. You set a resolution and then you have one bad day. And because you have one bad day, you quit. Does that sound familiar? Is that you? Are you blushing right now? Are you embarrassed? But think about it. Let's just say to yourself, I'm not going to have sugar anymore. I'm not going to have sugar today. I'm going to cut sugar out. And then, you slip and maybe you have a cookie at your kid's birthday party, piece of cake. And now you're like, I failed. Now I'm going to eat all the sugar in the world. That's ridiculous. You understand what I'm saying? You can't have an all or nothing mindset. That will set you up for failure. Another thing is relying on motivation alone. Listen, nobody loves motivation as much as Coach Vino. I mean, I love it, right? I'm a coach. That's what I do, right? But even I understand that motivation fades. It's habits that keep you going, okay? So you got to take motivation, turn it into consistent action. And that, my friend, is what turns into habits. But if you just rely on motivation alone, that will set you up for failure. And failing a New Year's resolution, it's not like something you just brush off. The reality is that for a lot of people, we internalize how much it bothers us, right? Because failure feels like shit. And these New Year's resolutions, they're like a cycle. They start off, you get all excited, right? You're like, oh my God, I'm going to get all jacked up for the summer. I'm going to take my shirt off, forget about it. Maybe I'm going to have abs of steel. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. But you find that it's difficult and you start to feel guilty, right? And this guilt weighs on you. It's heavy, right? And so you decide to give up, okay? So you went from excitement to struggle to guilt to giving up. And what happens after that whole thing goes through? You start beating yourself up. You start beating yourself up because you don't feel like you're good enough. You don't feel like you have the discipline to get shit done. But here's what I want you to understand, okay? And listen to me clearly. Rewind this part if you have to. The problem isn't you. The problem is your approach. You understand what I'm saying? The problem isn't you. The problem is your approach. So you failed your New Year's resolution, and it's March. So does that mean you give up? Does that mean you just stop doing this thing you were hoping to do? No, absolutely not. Okay? I'm going to give you some steps to help you get back on the horse. Okay? And teach you how to actually succeed in your New Year's resolution. All right? So here, we're going to start here, okay? I want you to take your New Year's resolution, think about it, okay? And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start small, okay? You're going to start small, and then you're going to build up. So let's take it back to the gym, because the gym is the most popular resolution people make. You have to make it stupid easy for yourself, all right? As easy as possible, okay? So you have, remember this, 5 minutes at the gym is better than no gym at all, okay? Don't be embarrassed that you were only there for 5 minutes. No, who gives a shit? This is your life, your world, okay? This is your body. Okay, so you bought your new gym outfit, you got your new sneakers and a new water bottle. Don't put those things to waste. No, go to the gym, get on the treadmill for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and then leave. Okay, and then you come back in a couple of days and you do it again. But going to the gym for 5 minutes, 10 minutes is better than no gym at all. And if you stay consistent with this and you keep doing this, you will find that all of a sudden, it's not so hard anymore. But you can't do it one time and then give up because it's too hard. Because you push yourself too hard. Okay? Another thing is, try to identify with the thing that you're trying to do. Try to identify with the New Year's resolution, okay? Like instead of saying, oh, I want to lose weight, try to think of yourself like, I'm the kind of person who likes to go to the gym. I'm the kind of person who likes to eat healthy. Like identify with who it is you want or need to be. Okay? Take pride in that. Don't think of it as something else. Think of it as you, part of who you are, part of your personality. Convince yourself that this is who you could be. Okay? And when you take pride in something, you're more likely to keep on doing it. All right? Another thing I need you to do is to track progress. Don't try to be perfect. Just track the progress, okay? Consistency matters more than anything else. Okay, the results are not the thing you need to worry about right now. You need to say to yourself, I'm being consistent. I'm going to the gym once a week, or I'm eating a salad twice a week, or I'm reading a couple pages of my book every night. Like, just track your consistency. Okay? That way you can say to yourself, okay, look, you know what? I can't work out this hard. But if I work out this hard, then I could do it more consistently. Okay? So maybe you can't run 30 minutes to an hour on the treadmill. So say to yourself, you know what? I can do 10 minutes a couple of times a week, and I can be consistent with that. Consistency leads to success. And another thing that I think is fantastic if you could do this, and there's a million ways you can do this, so I don't want to hear nothing. Be accountable. Find a way to create some environment where you can be held accountable for what you're doing, okay? You need to find a system that makes quitting harder than continuing, all right? So let's just say it's you want to read more. Join a book club. Or pick a couple of friends and say, hey, why don't we all read this book? And, we got a month to read this book. That way, it's almost like it's gamified. You know what I'm saying? And when you aren't holding up your end of the bargain, someone's going to swoop in and say, hey, yo, what are you doing here? You gotta read this book, right? And you also take responsibility and say, yeah, I'm going to make sure that my friends are reading that book, okay? Or the same thing with the gym. Maybe you go to the gym with a buddy of yours and you push each other and you hold each other accountable. If you feel lazy to go to the gym that day, your pal's going to go, no, get your ass up. We're going to the gym, Dieting is a great thing to do. Like if you're married and you have a spouse or someone, diet together. And hold each other accountable. If you want to have salads with dinner every night, and one day you're like, I don't know, your wife or your husband says, no, we're having greens. You know what I'm saying? Holding each other accountable is so huge when it comes to, keeping up and getting your resolutions done in a way that you feel good about. If you want to accomplish these things, you have to hold yourself accountable or have someone else do it for you. So those are some of the tips I have for you if you want to jump back on the wagon and, and get your, how do you say, accomplish your resolution. I'm blanking on the word here. You know what I'm saying? Vino to the Bronx. I ain't too good with words. But seriously, though, hopefully you take some of these things into consideration and it helps you to accomplish your resolutions. Okay? See, I said it there that time. All right? All right, so look, at the end of the day, what you need to do is you need to reframe and reset this whole entire thing, this whole resolution thing. You have to reframe and reset. And you should use this idea of reframing and resetting with any goal that you set for yourself. I don't care what time of year it is, okay? But just remember that failing a resolution doesn't mean that you failed, right? It just means that the system that you had in place needs tweaking. The system you had in place wasn't quite right. But it doesn't mean it can't be done, okay? And like I said before, earlier on, like every day is a fresh start, not just January 1st. So I don't care if you're one of those 75% of people. No, jump back on the horse, okay? Reframe, reset, think about what Vino told you today and get back on the horse. Because those resolutions can happen. They can be accomplished. You just need to sometimes think differently about it, all right? And make sure that you focus on the progress, not the perfection, okay? Because long-term success is built on the small daily wins, all right? It's not the big goal, okay? It's the little goals that get you there, all right? So I want you to think about one small habit that you can commit to this week that will help you to accomplish whatever goals you have in mind, all right? I want you to sit and think about that, all right? And hopefully you can use the information you learned today to get yourself going, all right, folks? Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. If you did, please leave me a review. If you know someone that might benefit from listening to this podcast, please go ahead and share with them. Remember, sharing is caring. And if you know anyone, maybe it's you that wants to work with Coach Vino, you can visit my website, coachvinollc.com. And remember, folks, if nobody else tells you, Coach Vino appreciates you. Cheers.
I find it hard to reveal these thoughts and express what I'm feeling in a hip-hop form. But I was born to succeed, so as long as I breathe, ain't nobody on this earth gonna crush my dreams. Yo, this might be the end of the verse, but this is just the start of a new beginning. Word.